We are back. Unofficial Commentators, back with the League of Haters. 2025, baby. JJ 98 over there. Coach Paki over here. What's good, my friend?
Back again by unpopular demand, and we really have to express right through it. So,
Yes, sir.
not a ton of preamble. Let's get right to it. This was a really busy week. Um, there's a difference that I noticed, a trend that I'm noticing between weeks 1 and 2. Week 1 was about surprises, right? Like you don't know how teams are coming out of an off season. Certain things kind of shock you. But week 2, I saw a lot of familiar faces showing up, giving masterful performances, probably better than I ever expected. I got hurt big time playing against Amon-Ra St. Brown and James Cook. Like, who knew they had it in? It was also a week of a lot of disappointments. Owners for players like Derrick Henry, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, they're all kicking themselves right now. And in a lot of ways, teams are what we thought they were. I mean, uh, as good as the Bears kind of looked at the beginning, their first couple of drives, they're dead in the water. The Browns have no hope. They played. Um, the Bengals pretty close, but that's pretty much it. And then there's still some teams that are kind of surprising, and maybe we'll touch on that a little bit as we go on.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, so far, I think the only surprises have been how good the good teams are. Like, they're better than we thought they would be. And how bad the bad teams are. They're worse
Now,
than we
what are you
thought they would
calling
be.
the good teams? Because I wouldn't have gone into the season thinking that Indianapolis was one of the good teams.
I don't have them up there. I mean, like, obviously, like Buffalo, right? They're better than we thought they were. The Ravens, I don't care that they lost that first game, dude. That team is amazing, right?
Is it 2 weeks in a row that they score over 40 points?
Yes, yes. They scored
Yeah,
50 to,
the rate.
just in case 50, you know what I mean? The Eagles, right? They're not putting up as many stats as those two teams, but they've beat two like seriously good teams, right? Like they're doing what they got to do. So the Packers, right? So it's just like I think the surprise is just like, all right, the good teams that we thought were good are good, and I'm still waiting to see like who's that like Cinderella surprise. I'm not seeing it yet.
Probably the Colts. I mean,
Yeah,
I don't know how long they ride this, but I'm gonna tell you one thing. Um, I didn't think they were going to be I didn't think they were going to be a good team at all, honestly. But the way Houston is trending down, Tennessee is done. Put a fork in them right now. They are done.
done.
It looks like they're pretty much going to run away with that division.
They are in a good spot to take that division, but I still don't. I'm still not all in on them like being a serious contender. Just because that division is garbage and they're better, yeah. But I mean, they haven't played two like extremely good teams for me to be like, all right, these guys are for real. They've
Oh,
played better than mediocre
people
teams.
had really high hopes for the Denver Broncos, and they beat them. Yeah,
I mean,
everything had to go right.
what's high hopes? Third in their division, possible wild card because they're not better than the Chargers,
Who?
the Broncos. That's what I mean. Like the
The
Broncos are a good
Broncos?
team, but they're.
Right.
I gotta see Indianapolis do what they're doing with like a real. You know what I'm saying? Like a real respectable team. I don't know. Broncos are respectable. That's not the right word. Like a real contending team for me to take them seriously.
I don't know how many people were really bought in on the Chargers. So yeah,
Yeah, you know what?
now
The
you see
Chargers are
them.
Chargers would be like the Cinderella story for me. That would be the
Right.
Cinderella.
All right. So we're going to move on from this pretty soon.
Yeah,
Last week, was what it was, big performances, a lot of standouts that we kind of expected. More teams that surprised last week came back to reality, but there's two teams in particular that I want to talk about. It's the Green Bay Packers and the LA Chargers. This rhythm that they have, is it sustainable? And throw in the Colts in there while we're at it.
the Packers, yes, 100%. Right. So unlike the Colts, right, the Packers have beaten the Vikings, right, and the Commanders, two playoff teams, two
Oh,
high
they
seed
beat the
playoff teams.
Lions.
The Lions, I'm sorry, even higher than the Vikings. Oh, my bad. Right. So they beat two really high contending teams. So the Packers are definitely legit. Jordan Love looks like he's taking the next step. I love that the Packers are doing what a lot of the things that the teams that have like a big bell cow running back aren't doing, except for I think the Ravens are the only ones and them, which is like using these guys till their legs fall off. Josh Jacobs and Derrick Henry. You know what I mean? I feel like all the other teams are easing their running backs in. The Packers and the Ravens are like, nah, fuck that. We're putting these guys in and we're giving them the ball as much as we possibly can. I love to see that. I'm a big passing guy and everything, dude, but there's not that many teams that consistently run the ball on first down. You know what I mean? To set themselves up for good situations down in second and third. There's not a lot of teams that are doing that. Those two teams definitely do it.
You know, you probably want to lump in Jonathan Taylor into that too. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
the teams that are doing it early. Normally, I want to say that running backs win you leagues, they win you games, they win it deep into the season, in the winter months, and all of that stuff. But the ones that employ that strategy right now kind of have a leg up on everyone, and who knows, it may be in a fantastic situation when it
Yeah,
gets to playoff time or qualifying for playoff time. But
I
you know, the
agree about
important
that,
thing
Jonathan
is
Taylor. Yeah.
to win the games, you got to win the games, not lose them, and that's what these teams are doing.
Yeah, man. Play calling in the NFL has become more of an art than it ever has. I think especially during the Brady, Breeze, Rodgers, Manning era, right? It was all about big play quarterbacks, big play players, and that's still that like that. But defenses have evolved so much, and defensive coordinators have gotten so savvy that offensive play calling in the NFL, dude, they're getting rarer and rarer. Like very good offensive play callers, and those teams, including the Colts, doing an amazing job play calling. Those teams that we talked about.
Awesome. All right, let's move into the section where we discuss injuries. Injuries are part of the game. They happen every week. It's only week 2, dude, and I think like 8 quarterbacks are out of it for this coming week. This week 2 saw us lose Joe Burrow. We're down Jaden Daniels for 1 game, possibly more. JJ McCarthy, I wasn't high on. You were. He's going to be out for some time. Brock Purdy's already out. He missed last week, possibly missing this week, and who knows going forward. Like they're dropping like flies right now.
I'm surprised Joe Burrow made it to week 2, to be honest with you. I'm surprised he made it past that preseason game where he was getting smacked around all over the place. I think it was like the second preseason game that they kept him in for a whole quarter. I'm like, why are they doing this? Why are they doing this? But he made it to week 2 more than I thought he would, because that offensive line's got to be like one of the top 5 worst offensive lines in football right now. And it was a matter of time, unfortunately. Like you've seen it on social media. Joe Burrow's the new Andrew Luck. Like this guy's just getting beaten to a pulp. It's not even funny. Jaden Daniels was surprising. He withheld pretty good last season, so that's
You know what I
unfortunate.
want to say? All right, Jaden Daniels, slight frame. He looks like someone who could go down with an injury at any time. But I don't know, dude. I had this theory last week, and I don't know if this is going to materialize into something. But I said last week when Brock Purdy didn't look good, do you think he's really injured, or are they just holding him out because he didn't look all that good, and maybe they let him they let him rest on a game that the Niners are probably going to win anyway. They're going to beat the Saints no matter what.
I think he's definitely
And
injured. I mean, you can't lie in the NFL about injuries. Now, what you cannot measure is how serious those injuries are. Like he's definitely got to have those injuries. Now, are they like horrible enough to the point that he can't play? We don't know. But we've talked about this the past 2 episodes, dude. The 49ers have an injury curse. So I'm gonna and Brock Purdy is injury prone, so I'm gonna say that he is injured. So I'm gonna
every
go with
couple
that.
of years, Justin Fields is someone that we nominated as a waiver wire pickup, and he was looking good until he wasn't.
Yeah, I
The Jets
told you,
don't
dude.
jet, huh?
I told you. Week 1, we talked about this. It was a personal matchup. I got to see him do it more often, and he didn't do it. You know what I mean? So I was never really high on Justin Fields. I think he is what he is. They shut him down, and now he's hurt. Right? He's not even going to start the next game. So that's unfortunate. JJ McCarthy, I was very high on him. He looked horrible, and he got hurt. So I can't make any excuses for that. I'm still high on him. I think he'll be back. But now my concern with him is different. to the point where this is the second time he's hurt. He lost his entire rookie season because he was hurt, and now he's hurt again after just 2 weeks. It's starting to seem like he's an injury-prone guy. Also, I don't like that. Right, so yeah, man, injuries injuries are starting to pile up quick. I'm surprised it's more quarterbacks than running backs, though. I remember last year was just running backs and receivers just falling like flies, dude, early on.
All right, so maybe this is our part of our next segment, or maybe you want to discuss now, but which of these fallen quarterbacks is it worth it to pick up their backup, or do you just go to the wire and pick up someone else?
I mean, going to the wire and picking up someone else is all dependent on what's left in the wire. I personally, like, today we're recording after the waiver wire, so this is a special episode in a way. I personally put a waiver claim for Daniel Jones. Yes, that's right. Even though I've said that I don't believe in him, I did pick him
So
up
two weeks
because
is all it took, and you bought in?
no, it's because I need a quarterback. Like, I have Jaden Daniels, and I don't have a backup quarterback, right? And I rather go with him because I like how they're using him in Indianapolis. Like you said, Jonathan Taylor's the bell cow. They're doing a lot of play action. I like how they're getting Ty Warren involved. Whoever got Ty Warren, that's a hell of a draft steal. I love how they're getting that rookie tight end involved. I love the play design that Shane Steichen is putting in. I love how they're putting him around in boots and moving around, and he's struggling. He's still struggling in the red zone. If you look at his tape, if you look at his games, but he is putting up points, right? I like the way they're using him, so I rather go with him because honestly, any of these backups that are starting, the only one that I would even worth consider giving a look at is what's his face, the Bengals backup. But then that's all like how many games is this guy going to be up there before he gets hurt with that O line, right? But they have so many weapons around him that you're like, well, maybe he'll be able to put up some points. But Tyrod
I'm
Taylor,
not
bro, starting
buying.
for the Jets, I ain't buying that. Come on, bro.
This is a 12-team league, and a lot of our teams are carrying two quarterbacks. And even in our league, we have players like Geno Smith, C.J. Stroud, Russell Wilson, and
God,
Sam
Gino looked
Darnold
like
still
ass.
available.
Yeah, I take
He looked
Russell
good one
Wilson
game, he
over
looked
any
bad
of the.
another.
I take Russell Wilson over any of those backups. I take Aaron Rodgers still there over any of those backups. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So there's still chances. I picked Daniel Jones because he's put up some points, and he's not going to be my everyday quarterback. It's just until I find out what's happening with Jaden Daniels. So
And better you have him and not anyone else.
better than me than Darryl, right? Or Omar. I'm
Austin
sure one of them
Eckler
would. I'm sure one
tore
of them
his
would pick him up.
Achilles. Well, they had their chance. They didn't get him, huh?
Yeah.
Austin Eckler tears an Achilles. He's down for the year. Do you
He's
run to
down
get
for
his
the.
backup
He's down for the forever. I don't think he's.
for
Why
his
would he
career?
even come back? I think he's
Yeah,
done forever.
I think
Give
so
it
too.
up, dude. Give it up, dude.
He never really clicked over there in Washington, and maybe he recovers from this. I hope he has the mentality that he wants to come back so he can at least push himself in rehab, recover from this, and potentially come back and just do like a 1-day contract with the Chargers and then retire after that.
Yeah,
But
he's
that
old
guy will,
already, dude.
yeah, hell of a player though. Like you don't want to see him leave on injured terms.
And it's always tough when it's an older player again. Like, I like where the Commanders are going. Like, they're building something pretty good over there. But they're not going to win the Super Bowl this year. I highly doubt it. You know what I mean? So, and I doubt it they'll be there next season. We'll see what happens. So, why would you come back when you're old and beat up and coming back from surgery? Like, just
Well, he's
call
not
it
coming
quits,
back
man.
this year for sure. I mean, this
Right,
this
right. That's
isn't
what I'm
like
saying.
yeah, this isn't what happened with Aaron Rodgers that he was still trying to push it towards the end. He's not coming back this year. No, 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 no. I
And
don't
the
think
way
that at
Bill
all.
is running, I don't even think the Commanders are going to need him. Like, they were barely using him anyway. So, just call it.
I feel you.
Go!
All right, League of Haters recap. Last year, week 2, not a ton of close matchups. We had 2 girls, 1 cup, lost to GAD. This is Gika's team. Uh, I reminded him to fill out a roster. Second highest score of the week. I, sometimes I feel like I'm a witch. I'm a magician. I can tell the future. JJ McCall over here, like I told this guy he gave up an easy win by not setting a lineup, and watch him beat me when we go head to head and screw me out of my chances to get into the playoffs. We're still weeks away from the playoffs, but this son of a he goes in and sets a whole lineup and then gets 3 touchdowns from Amon-Ra St. Brown
Killed
while
it.
getting like was it 2 from James Cook? Doesn't
Killed it.
matter. It was yeah, two rushing touchdowns from James Cook, 25 fantasy points.
Oh,
Everyone on
look,
his
and
team.
he's got Tyler Warren that we talked about earlier.
Yep. Tyler Warren, okay game. Josh Jacobs killed. James Cook killed. Um, Titatoria McMillan. This dude was doing nothing all game. I'm watching him. I'm watching him. And then garbage time, he gets 100 receiving yards. This with 6 catches. Oh, and Baker Mayfield, man, that was just a gut punch. At that point, I was lost. I was lost by the end of Sunday Night Football, but Baker Mayfield just kept stabbing me over and over and over, rushing for first downs, leading that 2-minute drill. Baker looks really good, Paki.
You know, it's not only that Baker looks good; he's just so fun, dude. He's just so fun to watch. Honestly, bro, he like you see him talking shit all game, dude. It's just I love watching this guy play, man. But dude, I hate it when you're in that situation where you have like Sam Laporta, a Detroit receiver, and then you got Amon-Ra St. Brown taking all the fucking fantasy points on the other side. That's brutal, man. I hate it when that happens.
For real. Tua Tagovailoa faced off against your team, the Lion Kings. Wait, did we change the name?
I did change the name. That's my name from last year. I decided to change back because
Went back to
back to the Lion Kings. Just dropping like Lion Kings. It's literally my son's name in English.
the
So
zebra, 2 bananas. I couldn't pronounce that anyway. You lost a close matchup,
it's
man. This was separated by less than 4 points,
it's
or
Lion
slightly more than
H
4 points.
Fairy Act Liz Y Cross. That's the play. Took it off. That's
Up,
the
up,
play.
down, down, right, left, select, start.
That's you call that's a play, man. That's how you call football plays, bro. And that's
El
an easy
truco de
one.
la tremenda vida.
Yeah,
All right.
man.
Well, you lost to Omar's team, Tuota Loco. Both of you underperformed your expectations by quite a lot.
I mean,
Only 108 points, which is pitiful. You're the 12th team out of 12 teams. Everyone on your team did pathetic, with the exception of Tucker Craft.
at least I wasn't the lowest scorer this week. Like I think this is a rebuild for me. I auto drafted. We talked about it. My team sucked. It was a horrible auto draft. I picked up 5 waiver claims. I don't think I've ever done that in my life. 5 waiver claims. So to me, my goal this year is for me to rebuild this team to a playoff team to feel good about myself. If I win, I win. If I don't, I don't. But I am still hopeful that I'm going to turn this around moving forward. But like a smart man once said, I heard this from I don't remember his name, but there's this dude. He said that in order for you to win games, you have to not lose the games. You have to win the games to
Yeah, you
not
have to win the games.
lose
Yeah,
the
sure
games.
did.
And it's ironic that I lost to Omar, right, when I'm phrasing that. So as much as I said I would, him not having all his Dolphins is not a good idea. His Dolphins actually gave him some fantasy points, but I would make that if I'm Omar, honestly, I would change my fantasy team to my team name to if you need to win games and not lose them. What?
And a
This
lot
phrase
of
is
dots, and you can get like the timing right on it.
this phrase is
Um,
so complicated for the regular mind to understand. I don't even think I'm getting it right.
Somehow, Wakanda Panthers pulled out a really close win over the Monte Candela. Both of these teams were pretty balanced. It was pretty close. Again, two teams that undershot their expectation. But all in all, Wakanda Panthers pulled through even with the
Jared
loss
Goff.
of Aaron Jones. Yep, I was going to say, even with the loss of Aaron Jones and a poor performance from Derrick Henry, they were carried by Jared Goff. T. Higgins represented. Devontae Adams got into the end zone. Another one of those where Paki was right. On the other end, a big letdown from A.J. Brown. DK Metcalf didn't get into the end zone. Hunter Henry, is this really the only tight end you're going with? Monte, if you're watching this, Hunter Henry, I don't know if this is your long-term solution. 1 catch, 9 yards. There has to be something better anywhere on the waiver wire, or consider trading. I mean, the name AJ Brown still carries some weight. Look into that, see if anybody will take him, and for whatever future projections. It's not looking great now, but he's not going to stay low forever.
I mean, in Monty's defense, like I think Hunter Henry is very involved in the offense. It's just a bad offense. So, but he's very much involved in that offense.
Listen, they will play the Dolphins again, but truth be told, that is the worst defense they're possibly going to face. So if he couldn't get it done here, I don't know when it ever happens for him.
Well, you know what? The Dolphins actually their biggest weakness is their secondary. So it normally it opens up it opens up the space for the
So it's the
receivers.
biggest weakness of a lot of weaknesses. You're not saying a whole hell of a lot. Like you compare
No,
the
I'm just
Dolphins to
saying
the
like
Dolphins, they
I'm just
suck
saying
at
that
the line, they
receivers are
suck
gonna
at linebackers,
I'm
they
just saying
suck
like
everywhere.
sometimes I'm just saying like sometimes just because they're the weakest defense doesn't mean it bodes well for tight ends because if the receivers are open, they're gonna go there first. You know what I mean? Which is what was happening. Sometimes it's better for a tight end if you're playing a defense that has lockdown corners. You know what I mean? Because then you have to find the tight end to get open. So yeah,
Let's keep it moving. The Purge played against La Maldición Inca. This is Joel Brito versus Joel Reyes. They flip flop in expectations. It looked like the Purge was supposed to win by a lot. This got turned all the way around. It was a high scoring matchup. You wouldn't think that it was that close. It was divided by basically a defensive player. A touchdown for either one of these teams either makes it look like a blowout or maybe turns the tables a little bit. Um, Not a ton to say here. Some high points, some low points. TJ Hawkinson didn't look great. Again, another recipient of only one catch. Bucky Irving for the Purge. He played well, but overall he lost the touchdowns. He got purged. He got purged
yeah.
by Rashad White, who I thought was dead in the water, but he got a second life in week 2. Let's see. Maybe this carries over a little bit, and maybe if he hasn't been picked up already, Rashad White might be somebody to look at. Not
The
super
crazy,
consistent. You're gonna have to roll a dice on him, but I owned him
yeah.
if not last year, a couple years ago, and he's pretty good.
The crazy part is that he underperformed in all this. Bucky Irving still put up some good points, but the T.J. Hawkinson one, dude, like J.J. McCarthy just killed him on that one. Honestly, that one hurts. And then on the other side, on La Maldición Inca, this has one name only because I know this motherfucker didn't even set up this lineup. Like he started Jaden Reed, who was out since the middle of the first game of week 1. Like he got that dude got knocked out like early in the first game, so he's still there in his lineup, but he got Malik
No,
Neighbors.
he got hurt
Malik
Thursday night
Neighbors.
football. Yeah, January got hurt in Monday night. Sorry, Thursday night football. The first game of week 2.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The first game of week 1, he got hurt.
So when no first game of week 2, Thursday night football. That's when he broke his clavicle. He broke it against Washington.
Are you sure that he played against Washington?
Yep.
I might. Okay, my bad. I thought he got hurt because I saw him. Who was it when I was watching that game? What? I mean, he did get blown up in that game. I thought that was the injury. My bad then. But Malik Neighbors, dude, that's the point, bro. Malik Neighbors, that's the
Malik
guy.
Neighbors,
That's the
Jordan
guy.
Love, like you said, and this name, DK Metcalf leaves. The other gentleman, I forgot his name. Is it Tyler? Who's the other receiver that caught all the moon balls?
In Seattle,
Lockett, Tyler Lockett.
Tyler
Yeah,
Lockett.
Tyler Lockett leaves. DK Metcalf leaves. They don't miss a beat. Jackson Smith and Jigba is representing. 8 catches,
Mm-hmm.
103 yards. Dude, this guy is a fantasy stud. I think he's going to end up top 10 in fantasy on consistency alone. And
That's
it's
crazy
hurting
because
the hell out of Cooper Cup.
I wasn't really that high on him, to be honest with you. I mean, I was like, all right, he'll be better than last year because I had him last year like out of the waiver wires in one of my leagues, and he was really good in PPR. But he really and he would have like some scoring days, but he was kind of. But this year he's clearly made a leap. So I underestimated him for sure.
Yeah, he's the number one option for
But at the
sure.
end of the
And
day, it's
I'm
Malik Neighbors
oh
is
yeah, just
honestly,
fucking
in my opinion, I'm putting him all the way up there with Jamar Chase and what's his face, Justin Jefferson. I think Malik Neighbors is right up there with those two. Honestly, like he's up there.
just close your eyes and lob it up to Malik Neighbors.
That guy's
The
amazing.
matchup of Hayden Hurts versus the system. Both teams are now 1-1. It was supposed to be a lot closer on paper. Cousin Juan had the lowest score of this week with only 95 points, and Gary had the highest score this week with 152.78 points. Obviously, this is the biggest blowout of the week. Not a ton to say here. Um, I don't think
I
Cousin Juan is going to continue to be this bad. I don't
That's
know if this is
karma.
repeatable.
That's karma for cousin Juan talking shit. Your co-host is 0-2. There you go. Karma.
I
That's all
did
I gotta
ask
say.
Pete. Some of these names, though, I don't know if they can really bounce back. Cortland Sutton, I do expect him to bounce back. Um, Jalen Hurts is not
Yeah,
throwing anything right now. 101
he'll be
passing yards.
he'll be fine, dude. Because Jalen Hurts, his every year is the same thing. He's gonna score touchdowns like on the tush push. That's where his value is at. So he didn't get it this week. He's not gonna get it every week, but he's gonna get it most weeks. So I think he'll be fine. Devontae Smith will be fine. Ashton Genty, bro. Oh my God, dude. Remember what we talked about on our first episode that I was concerned for the Raiders O line? Dude,
Hmm.
it's so bad. It's so bad. And then on top of that, they don't fucking use him. Like it's what we were talking about earlier about bell cows. Like this guy's built like a fucking tank. I don't know if you saw him in warmups. I mean, honestly, he even looks fat to me. I'm not hating on him because he still moves okay, but he looks fat. I think he could lose weight, and I think he'd be faster and he'd be better. He looks fat to me. I don't like that personally for a running back. And even then, you think, well, he's fatter. That means he's stronger. We can use him more. Not even, dude. They're giving him the ball like 10 times in close games. Dude, there was a
I
point
cannot
I was,
take your word for it. This game started like at 10:30 on a Monday. I was long asleep.
bro, this
Whatever
guy
you got to say
run.
to me, I believe you.
Oh my God, bro. This guy runs the ball on second down for like 9 yards and stops on 3rd and 1. And they bring in the fucking backup running back on 3rd down. I'm like, what is on third
Because he
and
ran 9
one?
yards. He's obviously exhausted.
Nah, man, get the fuck out of here. A rookie? That shit would
Obviously, he's
never
exhausted.
happen with any other. Dude, it's 3rd and 1, dude. You gotta give it to him for that 1 yard, and they fucked it up. They
I didn't
fucked
see
it
it.
up
Did he get up right
completely.
away? Because if he
Yeah,
lingers a
he
little
was
bit, you got
fine.
to
No,
replace him.
he looks good. I'm not gonna like he looks fat, but he looks fine. He doesn't look tired. He doesn't look like slow, but we haven't seen him break out a big one yet, right? So maybe he would be even faster
Hey yo,
if he was. But yeah, dude, it's just so frustrating watching how all these fucking teams are just like tiptoeing around using these possible bell cow backs, dude. So Ashton Genty is the one that I'd be looking at if I'm cousin Juan, dude. Like, it's so frustrating.
okay. So when you say look at Austin Denti, what is there to do? You have him. You got to start him.
I would
Or are
say
you thinking about trade already?
I would give it maybe another week or two because Pete Carroll did say they're going to use him more because everybody was criticizing Pete Carroll for not using him enough. And if this motherfucker ain't getting 20 carries by week 4 or 5, I would look to trade him, dude, because that O line sucks. So he's got to get volume to break out a big one. If he's not getting volume, he's not going to break anything big.
You. All right.
Pause.
I'm glad you brought up the topic. Okay. First big name potentially traded of the season. If he does decide to indeed trade Austin Genti, what could you possibly get in return for something like Austin Genti, knowing that the O line sucks and that he's not getting the opportunities?
I see you're asking in a way the right person because I like to do trades and I do fair trades, but at the same time I feel like you're asking the wrong person because I send fair trades. If I'm Ashton Genty, right? Like if I'm cousin Juan, the cool thing about our league is that you don't need to start multiple running backs, right? And he lost Austin Eckler, so he's gone. He's got Joe Mixon that could be back at some point, so that's going to make up for it. And he has Alvin Kamara that he can start. So, like, he can look to upgrade at wide receiver, right, to a team that might need a running back, because just because the running back might not be the value where he was drafted doesn't mean he's not going to be worth something for a team like my team, for example. And I'm not saying it because I'm a Raiders fan. I'm just saying because I don't have any running backs, and I had to go to the waiver wire and pick up like 4 fucking running backs to see what sticks, right? Um, but there's other teams out there that probably need a running back. So I think you can get a starting wide receiver. You can upgrade at quarterback if you're feeling frustrated with Jalen Hurts. If you package him in with Jalen Hurts or you can get another quarterback and a receiver or something like that. Like there's options around there, but obviously like this league tends to undervalue other people's players and overvalue their own players. So it is going to be a tough sell. But if we were in a league with logical people, I think he is worth a gamble if you need a running back. Yeah, we're not logical when it comes to trade, dude. We put so much value on our own fucking players, it's ridiculous. But he still has value in the league. I'm just saying, like, dude, you can maybe use his name to upgrade down the line if he's not moving forward. And maybe somebody else has a different opinion about him, right? Because I'm sure there's some expert out there in some podcast saying that Ashton Genty will be fine. I'm personally concerned for him. I don't know. And I hope I'm wrong because I am a Raiders fan, but unless the Raiders change something up, either give him the ball more or, I don't know, keep him on the field more. I don't know, change something up. It's something ain't right. Something ain't right, and I don't like it. He's still young
I,
though, so I could be wrong.
I'm with you. I think you could give him another week, considering who you have there. Maybe you're just like hoping and praying that it comes back.
Yeah,
You make a replacement for Austin Eckler coming week 2, or maybe play some of the guys on your bench that left so
yeah.
many points there.
And he got
It wouldn't have
A-Chain
made
too.
a
Like
difference.
A-Chain is gonna
Yeah,
be money always, no matter how much the Dolphins suck. They use him all over the
make
place. And
make
just to be
A-Chain your
clear, I'm
feature
not.
back, and then
And just to be clear, on Ashton Genty, I'm not hating on the player, even though I did say that I feel he's a little fat. I'm hating on how the Raiders are using him and the Raiders team, right, for him. It's just not working out right now the way it's going.
all right. I feel like we're spending too much time on a matchup
Yeah,
that
yeah, go ahead,
was
go ahead.
decided by 60 points. Let's move on to the next one. Joel Vasquez went up against Screenshots. Joel Vasquez wins. Both teams are now 1-1. Um, Middle of the pack performances, some highs, some lows. Standouts in this game were Roma Dunze. Even in a losing effort, he still scored 28 fantasy points. Lamar Jackson is who Lamar Jackson is. And Justin Jefferson suffered the curse of JJ McCarthy. Nobody looked good in that game last Monday. Let's see what the future brings, since it's going to be a game where all of them are playing with backups. So on the other end, well, that being said, he still managed to win. On the other end, Josh Allen kind of laid an egg. Jamar Chase went off, but still, Mark Andrews is droppable. I don't know what you expect from him, what he can possibly provide you. Keenan Allen got into the end zone, but not a ton of yards. Um, Brees Hall, oof, another one that I'm just like, I don't want no part of that. There's certain offenses, certain teams I don't want a part of. Nothing with the Jets. I'm thinking nothing probably with the Bears. I'm not convinced yet by uh, the Jaguars, and I'm totally out on the
Mm.
Titans. Done.
Oh my God,
Totally out
yeah,
on the Titans.
it's so bad. And throw in the Vikings in there until they show something else, honestly, because they did
I
not look
I
good last game.
I think any backup there is actually an upgrade. I mean,
Oh
it's a
wow,
bit of a stretch
it's
with
Carson
Carson
Wentz.
Wentz. Yeah, he was good once upon a time. Let's see if he still has anything in him.
Yeah.
Maybe he
Oh,
picked up something while he was playing backup
I
to
mean,
Mahomes.
maybe he learned something from Nick Foles. Being the backup and coming in as the backup and taking your team to the Super Bowl.
I don't think so. I read a thing where they're celebrating how he's going to start for the sixth team in 6 years. He's played for 6 teams in 6 years, and for each one of them, he's had at least one start. This pace that he's having, this historic record, insane. I don't know how anyone ever does that. I don't know that there was even like a player that was in 5 teams and started for 5 teams in five
Did
years.
you
So
did you did you notice real quick, like just changing it up real quick, but on the same topic? Daryl has like the biggest hack of fantasy football that I didn't even notice and I didn't even think about it. And I feel like an idiot for not thinking about it. Dude, Travis Hunter. He's starting Travis Hunter at corner. That's fucking
right,
genius. I don't think Travis Hunter is going to put up like all pro wide receiver numbers, but I bet you he's going to put up more numbers than any defender.
hmm for sure.
So you're basically starting a free wide receiver on defense. God,
It
that's such a sweet hack, bro. Such a sweet hack. Kudos to you,
hasn't
Mr.
materialized
Screenshot.
yet, but yep, it can for sure happen that way.
I mean, he's going to
But
score more. Let's put it this way: he'll score more touchdowns than any other cornerback in the NFL. Is that a fair statement?
yes,
right? So that's it. You're
but then again,
you're winning.
it's Jacksonville.
You're winning. That's it.
Yes,
Even if
but
you,
it's Jacksonville. Even if he gets 2 or 3, like that's probably more
it's,
than any corner, right?
it's more
I
than
get
you
what
would
you're
get
saying.
from any other defender. You know what I mean? So because he's not starting him at receiver, so it's huge hack, bro.
All right. So one thing that we didn't do last week that I want to make sure to emphasize this week, we are going to do picks. So looking forward this week, let's start with the matchup of the Wakanda Panthers and screenshots. I don't know why you still call it 2024. That's last year. But Wakanda Panthers versus screenshot. We have Ronald versus Daryl. Who you picking?
Yahoo has screenshots has the favorite, so I'm gonna go with Wakanda Panthers on this one. Um,
Oh, just to go
honestly, dude,
against Yahoo?
yeah, man. I mean, Yahoo projections suck to be honest with you, but um, I mean,
Well,
honestly, I'm
it's
not.
pretty close, and right now Ronald has an empty defensive slot, so it'll be a little closer projection wise.
Yeah, it's this. I mean, I think this is gonna be like a really close matchup, even though it's like 63-37 according to Yahoo. Because I think Jared Goff is gonna have a big week versus Baltimore, right? I think
Indeed.
Devontae I don't know, man. I don't think T Higgins and Devontae Adams might struggle though. So it's got to be all on Derrick Henry. Oh no, man. I think screenshots got to win this because you got Josh Allen versus Miami. Like if you're a betting person, everybody's gonna take that spread that Buffalo because Buffalo I think was I think I don't remember what it was. Was it Buffalo play Cleveland last week or was it Baltimore? Who was it? Baltimore.
Baltimore played Cleveland.
So if Baltimore was able to
Baltimore played
cover 11
Cleveland.
points,
Buffalo played the Jets.
right? So they were able to destroy the Jets like that. I think this is going to be a humiliation for Miami on Thursday Night Football in a short week. Like there's just something wrong with Miami. Like it's just the vibes is off. We talked about it. So I think Josh Allen is going to ball out. I think Jamar Chase. I don't know. That's also a big question. I think Debo should ball out against the Raiders. I don't see any reason why not. But man, this is so tough because then you got Chase Brown. I don't know what's going to happen with Browning, and then you got Mark Andrews, who honestly I wouldn't even start at
He
this
should
point.
get more opportunities, is what I think.
Who Chase Brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, opportunities for what? To get stuffed at the line of scrimmage with that garbage O line.
He still put up fantasy points. He put some up
His best
last year.
his best shot at putting fantasy points is receiving. To be honest with you, that's what I think. Or scoring like a
All right.
touchdown. That's possible too. But
So go
I'm
ahead,
gonna go.
final pick.
I'm gonna go with the Panthers. Yeah,
Go with the Panthers. I'm going with screenshots, honestly.
Panthers.
I think Jared Goff
Panthers.
comes back to earth.
Write it
I
down. Write it
see
down.
C. Higgins coming down, and I see Josh Allen and Debo and Chase, for that matter, all carrying this team. I'm concerned about Mark Andrews and Brees Hall, but everywhere else, I think it's a win. Put it down as a win for screenshots. All right, next matchup we have Joel Vasquez versus La Maldición Inca, currently in first place.
Yeah, this one's supposedly going to be a tight one too, huh?
Yep,
Do you think this is the week that Patrick
tighter than one of
Mahomes?
our buttholes.
You think this is the week that Patrick Mahomes, comes back to being a fantasy god?
I still think he has no one to pass to. And I would caution him not to try to make a lot of things happen with his legs. They're playing the Giants at Meadowlands, that's notorious for taking Achilles' heels.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with Maldición Inc. on this one. Honestly, there's just too many question marks on the Vasquez side for this, at least just for this week, not for the season, right? Because we don't know what's gonna happen with Justin Jefferson, with Carson Wentz, Khalil Shakir. Even though I think Buffalo is gonna kill it, he's not the consistent receiver, right? He's not the number one guy. Chuba Hubbard is in Carolina, so God knows what could happen there. You know what I'm saying? Who knows with that? Romo Dunze, it's the Bears.
Atlanta, the Falcons, they're kind of impressing.
Yeah, Atlanta has played really good on top of
Yeah.
that. So, Romo Dunze, he could have a great week as he can do nothing because I think Caleb Williams is the next Justin Fields. So God knows what's going to happen there. So there's just a lot of question marks here. I feel more confident with the guys that are on Maldición Inca. You got Patrick Mahomes, you know what to expect. Malik Neighbors, you know what's going to happen. Jackson Smith and Jigba, you already hyped him up. Jordan Mason's probably going to get more touches. Jake Ferguson is pretty consistently mediocre. you know what you're getting from Drake London. I just feel like
mediocre.
yeah, for fantasy purposes, you know what I mean. So I just feel like I know what I'm getting with Maldición Inca, so I'm gonna just go with that.
You know what? I feel like Lamar Jackson tops Mahomes, but everywhere else, Mali Sonica has him beat. I agree with you this week. Mali Sonica is going to beat Joel Vasquez.
Yes, sir. I hate it when we
All
agree.
right. And so does the group for that matter. Hayden Hurts is playing against El Monte Candela. Make your
Oh
pick.
shit! Oh my god! Well, Monty's starting Caleb Williams. Oh my god! I'm going Hayden Hurts. Ain't no way it's him starting Caleb. Ain't no way, bro. You're starting Caleb. Ain't no way, bro. I mean, he hasn't been horrible for fantasy, but ain't no way, bro. I just don't believe it. And then you got Jalen Hurts versus AJ Brown, right? So if AJ Brown does have a good week, that's gonna show up with Jalen Hurts. You know what I mean? And add in there a possible tush push. So yeah, I'm going with Hayden Hurts on this one, man.
Hayden Hurts.
A lot of Eagles in this matchup because Devontae Smith is in here too.
Yeah.
The kicker's in there too.
There's so many players that I don't trust here. It's honestly it's a coin flip, but just to keep it interesting, I'm gonna pick Monte to win this week. You already said Gianti, he's going up against really good defense and not a ton of possibilities. Jalen Hurts hasn't shown me yet.
Like I said, I watched the post game conferences. Pete Carroll said they will give him more carries. So maybe I'm wrong. We'll see.
But, well, I'm betting on the Washington defense stopping him.
But technically, if they give him 12 carries, that's more carries. So that's a vague statement.
Oh man, Cortland Sutton probably had the worst game he's going to have this season, and this year is not going to get any easier against the Chargers. I don't like the matchups. There's a few flaky players on both teams, but I don't like the matchups. I'm also looking at the benches. I don't see anyone that Cousin Juan could potentially move up to cover up wherever we see any deficiency. So let it ride. Bit of a coin flip, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm picking Monte Candela for this one. Are you sure? Well, I think he's going Caleb Williams probably just because the matchup is Dallas.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't want Bo. He doesn't want to start Bo Nix versus the Chargers, which is totally understandable. Doesn't mean Caleb Williams is still a good start.
For sure,
that's better than
exactly
Bo Nix.
where I was going.
I get it, but it's not
That's
great.
exactly where I was going. We were saying the same thing. Cup half full, half empty. All right.
Monte
the Lion
Candela
Kings
don't speak.
are...
Monty don't speak English anyway, so he don't understand any of this shit.
Lion Kings are going up against the Purge. Should I pick first since you're involved in this matchup?
Nah, fuck that. I'm winning. I revamped my whole team. I got to turn this shit around. I'm picking myself. I'm not betting against myself.
There's definitely some possibilities, but then there's also Jaden Daniels is already confirmed not playing. I don't know why they still listed him as questionable. He will not play.
Yeah,
they already have his backup lined up.
Until I know for sure 100%, I am waiting because I am waiting to know what's going to happen with him before I pick another defensive player up that I need to add in there. So I just added a shit ton of running backs.
Have we ever traded like on the podcast? I'll trade you Calvin Ridley for Terry McLaurin.
Mm-hmm. No, mm-hmm. I don't want to trade I don't. There's no point in me trading a receiver for a receiver. See, I don't like to do those trades. I'm trading for something I need. Now, if you offer me a running back, we might be able to talk.
All right, let's talk. You heard it here first. We're negotiating a trade here. I don't know if it'll happen on the podcast, but the talks are on. All right, I'm gonna take the Purge. The Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb stack might be too much for you to overcome. Nico Collins still hasn't broken out, even though he has a good matchup this week. Tucker Kraft, I see as the beneficiary.
Didn't Nico have a good? Nico had a good week last week. He had 12 points, I guess. He had a touchdown, but
double digits, but not like a not one of those weeks that you go, oh my god.
Yeah, no, I
here's
agree.
your season. Um, some ups and downs here. TJ Hawkinson can't be as bad as he was last week. Kyron Williams, I expect to have a bounce back. Again, CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott, they bounce back. There's a lot of players that I don't believe in here. I don't want any part of the Titans. You're starting Tony Pollard, Jacoby Myers. I heard on some podcast somewhere that he's super dependable, gets a ton of opportunities. All in all, though, I don't think it's going to be enough. You're going to lack a little bit of firepower this week. You still got a defensive player slot to fill out there. Oh, and you're carrying Isaiah Pacheco, dude. That's like a bad luck charm.
I picked him up in waivers, and I might have to drop him anyways to pick up a defender. To be honest with you, if
Yeah,
I have to
and
start that, because I'll probably have to start Daniel Jones, so I'll probably drop him because I like my other running backs. I got Cam Scattaboo for all you Giant fans. So I'm debating if I'm going to start Cam Scattaboo over Tony Pollard. So that's just giving you some insider info there because I don't know if I'm going to start Tony Pollard. I'm debating that, but
Tua
yeah, Isaiah Pacheco might
goes
be.
up against GAD. Not going to give you a bunch of preamble. There's a lot of players here that I really believe in. Baker Mayfield, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Jacobs are all very high on JJ's list. James Cook, I don't know that he repeats last week, but he might, he could, he's capable of it. I'm going to go with Geeka to win this week, and Tuata Loco is going to fall to 1 and 2.
You see, my brain is telling me to go with GAD because the Dolphins are supposed to have a bad game on Thursday Night Football tomorrow versus Buffalo, and there's 3 Dolphins on this team. So my logic says go with GAD, but I don't know, for some reason I feel like everybody's gonna bet on Buffalo tomorrow, and just because of that, Miami. I'm not saying they're gonna win, but they're gonna be able to cover the spread, which means they're gonna have to score points. And maybe Miami's going to actually give them some fantasy points. So I'm going to go with Tua Tagovailoa on this one.
You are out of your mind. They're playing at Buffalo, by the way.
I know, dude. I know. This is not, like I said, my brain tells me it's GAD, but I'm just going against the money on this one. Like,
Hey,
all the money's
you're
going to be
keeping
on
it
Buffalo.
funky.
All the money's going to
You're
be on
mixing it.
Buffalo. The NFL script, the Vegas, something's going to happen, bro. Some crazy shit's going to happen where Miami's going to be able to cover.
All right. Well, the only matchup left is going to be 2 Girls, 1 Cup versus the System. Projections say we're close.
Very close.
Go ahead. You go ahead and review this team.
Remember, I said when we talked about the draft, I thought Gary's team was the best team. Going through it, I thought his team. So, I have to go with him because I think he has the best team. To be honest with you, but, dude, Kenneth Walker, man, you remember we talked about if they start doing more power, more gap scheme runs, he'll be better. Dude, that's exactly what they fucking did. They called a lot
And
more gap
opportunities.
scheme runs. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they're like, okay, this guy is not reading the zone runs right. So remember, I literally said that. I'm like, dude, if they start doing more gap schemes, because the guy's gifted, talent, physically gifted. So, he just doesn't. He's just not a zone runner, and he's going up against New Orleans. That's my point. I think Kenneth Walker is set up for a big week. So I like your team. I like where it's going, but I'm gonna go with Gary on this one. I'm sorry, man. I don't mean to hate, but I gotta go with Gary on this one.
Dude, there's nothing of haters. I don't take it personally. I'm going to
No,
go
I
with
know.
2 Girls, 1 Cup, and I'm going to go with them based on volume. I have a lot of volume on this team. Puka Nakua, Kenneth Walker, Christian McCaffrey, all of these are volume guys.
Dude,
You got a
Puka's
couple of
so
hit or miss
nice.
on Gary's team. Oh, so good. You got
You
some
saw
hit
that
or
fucking
miss.
run, bro. That fucking run that Puka did. I'm sorry to cut you off, dude. Puka is so nice. It's just
You know
so.
what?
I just don't
I
say it.
bought in heavy on him. I'm in 3 leagues, and in all 3, I picked up Puka Nakua.
He's so nice.
I'm invested in this guy. I hated him last year because I drafted Cooper Cup, but now that they're not on the same team, I'm all in on Puka.
Can I give you my personal opinion on something about your team?
Go for it.
I had Matt Gay in 3 other leagues. I dropped that motherfucker. I dropped him, especially if Jaden Daniels is not playing. I dropped him. I lost in another league by 2 points because of that motherfucker. So that's just my 2 cents. If you got a better kicker, I think Yahoo would switch the projection. That motherfucker. I mean, it might get you closer to winning because honestly, the projection might not change much. But fucking Matt Gay,
we're only separated by 2 points.
Fucking Matt Gay.
Justin Herbert has looked good, but he's going to come up against a really good defense like McConkey. I don't think repeats what he did last week. Bijan Robinson against Carolina. That's going to be the one. That one, and Jonathan Taylor against Tennessee. I don't think this is one of those weeks where George Pickens scores a touchdown. I'm picking my team, like I said, solely on volume. So those are my picks. Where Paki was right, where Paki was wrong. Paki, JJ McCarthy, big dud.
I'll take that one. I own that one. We already talked
Big
about
dud.
it. He looked like doo-doo.
Yeah, you already accepted it before I even had a chance to bring it up.
I'm still not down on him though. I'm not. It's only been 2 games, but he seems to be injury prone. But he did look like doo-doo.
Where you already admitted it before I even brought it up, but Matt Gay, you told me buy high on this guy. You want to be part of anything in the Commanders' offense. Yeah.
Clearly,
there too.
They don't need a fucking kicker this year. What the fuck?
And where Paki was right, Jordan Love. But you were right. But your team auto drafted him and you dropped him, and now you're over here scrambling to pick up Daniel Jones as a potential starter.
Yeah, I mean that's injury, dude. Nobody can predict injuries. That's different. I'm not down on Jaden Daniels, dude.
All right, bud. So I will see you guys next week. Thank you for joining us again. Another episode of the Unofficial Commentators. And as you go through your games, Thursday night football, Sunday, Monday night, just remember to win the games, you have to win the games, not lose the games.
Smart man. I hope everybody here wins and does not lose.
It's not how that works. All right, brother. See you next time.
Are you sure?